Oh, right. We are now live.
Yay!
Yay! All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everybody.
We're now with the one and only Kurozi.
Yay! And I'm with the one and only Karukana. Woo!
Yay!
Oh no, does it work on my side? Sorry, I have to go this side.
Yay! All right. How are you today, Rosie?
I'm good. I'm so good. Thank you. How are you doing, Kana?
Amazing, because we are here together doing this live. That's why today is a special day for me.
It is. Yeah, so I've been looking forward. Sorry.
Yeah. You go first.
I was just going to say that I have been looking forward to this so much.
I know, me too. I've been looking because we planned this weeks ahead, right? So it's been a very special occasion for both of us.
Exactly. It's been in the diary for a long time.
Okay. Rosie, do you want to say hi to your audience maybe a little bit? Then after that, I can
yes, the audience. Definitely. So, hi, everybody. So actually, I haven't done a live in so long. So actually, I should just apologize to my lovely fans who are so supportive. And I've seen so many people ask me, like, why haven't you done live? Like, where have you been? Like, what have you been doing? Basically, I've been so busy for the last month. But I feel like next month I will be doing live again. So yeah, I'm back. And it's a good way to do live again back with Kana. So yeah, I will be doing it again. Back from June, I will be back doing it regularly. So I'm so sorry, everybody, that I have disappeared for so long. It's been a while, about a month, too long.
Exactly. So for the audience from Rosie Kurozi page, you'd probably have to thank me because I'm the one that kind of like, Rosie, please do live with me.
No, it's so good. It's so good, Kana. I've just been so busy working, and now I'm back for good.
Yeah, let's do this together. So let's say hi to our audience just a little bit. Yeah. Sarah, hi. Sarah's from the Philippines.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Hi, Sarah.
Yes. Hey, sabaydi. Oh, I'm guessing you're from Laos, I think, right? Sabaydi ka. Hello. Kun Natasila. Hello. Kun Papaya. Hi. And Kun Kit, I think. Kit. Hello, how are you, ladies?
We're great, thank you.
Doing great. Kun Jan, สวัสดีค่ะ somebody said, Kun Anusha, I miss you so much, Rosie. With like so many hearts. Okay. All right. Hi, boat teacher. Okay, we have a lot of comments going on here. The comment situation is going wild. All right. So today we have a special topic for a special audience like you guys. What are we going to talk about today, Rosie?
Okay, so our topic of today is culture shock and adapting to a new culture, which should be a really interesting topic. It's something which we have talked a little bit about in the past. We've touched on some things, but we're going to go into it a little bit deeper.
Exactly. So today we're going to go like super in details, and also maybe we can share because you lived, of course, in Thailand, right? And I have lived abroad as well. So maybe we can share about the ways that we try to adapt and, adjust in a new culture, maybe.
Exactly. Yes. And of course, we would like to hear from the audience as well. So everybody get ready to share all of your details and opinions with us because we would love to hear. So yes, get ready to please share with us as well.
Absolutely. I think the comment section is getting really excited as well. So of course, I think we can, maybe we can share a lot of experience and thoughts here, just like Rosie said. So be prepared. Do not passively only listen to us, but take action in learning as well.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So the first question that Rosie and I would love to ask you is, what is to you, in your viewpoint, in your opinion, what is culture shock? What is culture shock? พิมพ์คำตอบเข้ามาได้เลยนะคะ Your answer to you. There's no right or wrong. What is culture shock? Okay. For you first, maybe Rosie, asking Rosie first. To you, in your opinion, what is culture shock?
Okay, so for me, I guess culture shock is when you go to a new country. It could be when you're traveling, but it's often, I think, when you spend longer time, because if you're just traveling, then you're not really experiencing that much of the culture. So for me, it's definitely someone that's spending a great deal of time abroad, maybe studying or living, working, and it's often the experiences that you have when you're there that are quite surprising and maybe hard for us to understand. And that can be a shock to us. So obviously there's different parts to it, which we will go into. But in summary, that's what I would say for culture shock.
Oh, that's kind of like super, it sums up everything already. What do I have left to say?
Sorry. You can say in your own words. I'm so sorry.
It's good. No, that's actually a compliment. So yeah, I think you summed it up pretty well already. So I'm just gonna be someone who read from Brown University definition for you guys. Actually, they say that cultural adjustment or culture shock, as it is commonly called, comes from being cut off from things you're familiar with. Right? So when you have lived your whole life in one culture, moving into another culture, living in another country could be difficult. And culture shock doesn't result from just one event. It doesn't strike suddenly or with any cause. It built slowly from a series of small events. It also comes from living and working in like a vague, ambiguous situation. Living abroad will make you question your values, which you may have taken absolutes before. So of course, it just like Rosie said, it's not like when you go travel to another country and you're like, culture shock. But it's usually that you decide to live there for a period of time. That's where you feel like, oh, there's a need of adjustment and you find it maybe difficult, right? Okay, let's see from the comments, shall we?
Yeah, let's have a look.
All right. Now, what is culture shock? มาเลย There we go. We have Kun 3T. 3 tree. Oh, interesting. Rosie, do you want to talk about this one?
Sure. Okay, so I'll read it to begin with. So culture shock for me is like when you move to somewhere else, excellent, and you get a little confused with that country's social norms. So 3 tree, I actually think your answer is really, really nice. You said the same thing that we did about moving somewhere else. And you're right, it is about feeling confused. It's maybe that we don't feel angry. It's often just, like you say, confusion. And it often, like you said, is associated with the country's social norms. So for me, I think that's an excellent answer from 3tree. A lovely
3tree. It's a very hard name to pronounce.
I know.
3tree. Yeah,
3tree.
But it's cool. It's a cool name. Yeah, it's a cool name.
It is.
Yes. คุณพองศรี right? The condition of entering a new culture. Brief and kind of like sums up everything. Yeah.
It does.
Exactly.
It's really nice. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. And คุณทัศนะ จามสุข I'm not sure if I pronounced correctly. Rosie, do you want to talk about this comment?
Sure. Okay. So the fact of knowing different cultures between your primary culture and a new culture you have just learned. So again, a really, really nice summary. So like you said, it's often to do with the difference. And I think this is a very good point. It's about how the things that surprise or shock us, it's when we compare them with our own culture. Because if we don't compare them, then there's no shock at all. So I think this, again, is a really nice summary. So very, very good.
Yay. Okay. One last definition from Kun Maria is the culture shock is about something we have not seen before, like we go to a new place. Yeah. Something that we find like unfamiliar with or we are not used to, right? Something that could be like something could be new to us, right? Okay. What's culture shock called in Thai? What's the word in Thai? Do you know the word in Thai?
No. So I actually was searching to see whether there was an actual word. And then I don't feel like most of the articles that were writing about it in Thai, they were using the word culture shock. So they were like, all of the articles actually used the word culture shock, which I thought was quite interesting.
So it's like in Thai we call คำทับศัพท์ right? So the whole like we just use a real word for it, like computer software, like we just use the English word for it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean there might be a word, but I just didn't come across it when I was searching for it.
Because I was thinking about it now and I couldn't think of any word in Thai แต่ว่าถ้าแปลเป็นภาษาไทยสำหรับใครที่จำยังไม่ทันนะคะก็คือมันก็คือความที่สมมุติว่าเราไปอยู่ใน culture ใหม่ หรือว่าวัฒนธรรมใหม่ๆแล้วเราก็รู้สึกแบบเราไม่คุ้นกับอันนี้เลยอันนี้มันใหม่สำหรับเรามากเลยเพราะฉะนั้นก็เลยกลายเป็น culture shock นะคะ Alright, let's now talk about the different elements of culture shock, shall we? So I think there's a article that Rosie shared with me and it's about different elements of culture shock as well. So it's not just the way people behave or the food and everything. There are many elements. So maybe we can go through each of them. Okay.
Sounds perfect. Okay, so should we begin with the first one? I'm not sure which one you've got. Okay, let's begin with the first one, which is climate. Okay, so the climate obviously is to do with the weather. Often when we go to a new country, then we have to obviously adapt to the weather as well. So for some people, it may be a good thing that they're in a nice new environment where maybe they like hot weather and they're excited by it. Or it could be that you move to like England where it's raining all the time and you have to get used to like wrapping up warm all the time or always taking an umbrella with you. So basically when you're going to a new country, the climate and the weather most likely will be different from your own climate back at home. So
for sure. Do you like hot and the tropical climate of Thailand? Would you say that you like the climate?
I would say in general, yes. Yes, I would say so. Like obviously I feel like sometimes, okay, it's too hot. But when in general, like when I compare to England and I wake up and there's like a clear blue sky outside nearly every day in Thailand, I'm like, this makes me so happy. So to be honest, yeah, the climate for me in Thailand is definitely preferable than in England.
I see. So you probably prefer the hot, humid climate a little bit more.
I do. Obviously, there's days when I'm like, oh, it's so hot today, but I would rather be too hot than too cold.
Oh, for sure. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, the next element of the culture shock is, I think the biggest deal, yeah, almost.
Sure, the foods. So yeah, obviously when you're going to another country, you're going to have new food, new cuisine. And for some people, that can be quite challenging. I know that there are many Thai people that go to the UK. And I mean, to be honest, the food in the UK isn't that delicious compared to Thai food. Like, I guess if you love spicy food and you're used to eating like gapao and somtam, and then you go to the UK and you're like, oh, here's some bread and some cheese. Here's some chips and fish and chips. It might feel a little bit boring and kind of challenging for some people. But I guess it depends what you like to eat. But it definitely can be a challenge for some people when moving to a new country.
Is there anything that you really miss, like the food that you really miss in England that you don't get to have here in Thailand?
Different types of bread. Different types of cheese. I mean, I can find them here, but I have to maybe go to different shops, and it's not like everything's together and I can just walk in and be like, oh, look at the lovely bread and the cheese and what else? Oh, I know like vegetarian products because I'm kind of vegetarian. So that means that in the UK, there's so many like fake meats basically, but in Thailand, it's harder to find them. And that's one thing, when I go back to the UK, it's so nice to have like this big selection of fake meat.
That's cool. That's cool. I remember you don't eat pork, right?
I don't exactly. I don't eat pork or chicken or beef.
Okay. I remember you ordered shrimp last time we ate together.
Exactly.
Good memory. Okay, that's cool. Okay, maybe another element of culture shock. That would be language.
Sure. Yes. Let's move on to language. So for me, I think that language has to be like one of the biggest things when it comes to culture shock. And I think this is just the reason that not only maybe are people trying to learn new language, but also the way people express themselves in that language is also challenging as well for many people. That people, I guess, just the way people communicate as well. So I think it's not just the words, it's just learning how people interact in that language. It can be also very, very challenging. And it's something which I will talk about more in a little bit. But for me, that was a big part of it.
For sure. Yeah, I think I would talk a little bit about more. It's not just the words, knowing the words, the grammar of that language, I think.
Yep.
It's to be able to culturally express. I think that's
exactly. That's it.
I don't know if that's a term. Yeah, but definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do a little bit of break to ask while you're talking so that maybe our audience can share, like, if you have any elements of culture shock that you can think of right now, please share with us in the comments so we can maybe check it and talk about it. Okay.
Definitely.
All right.
Yes.
All right. What's the next element you want to talk about, Rosie?
Let's talk about values.
For sure. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. So I think this is, again, another difficult one. I think when you move to another country or you're spending a long time in that country, so the values is what kind of accepted in that country and what people believe. And then there's probably, you will experience some things where you're like, why do they think like that? Or why do they think that's okay? But in my culture, we wouldn't think that was okay. So that's basically the values. And again, it is really challenging, the values part of it.
It is. It's like, I think it's deeply rooted in the culture and the history as well. So I think understanding how people think and value things really, really help.
Exactly.
All right. Next we have, I think, dress, which is kind of, what do you think about this one?
So for me, I wouldn't ever see it as a culture shock. I would just more see it as something which you would more notice. It would be more like an observation, like, oh, people in Thailand like to dress like this, as opposed to a shock that, like, oh my gosh, why do they dress like that? Yeah. However, I guess if you were moving to a country maybe which was Muslim and the people, like the majority of the people were Islam, then in that sense, maybe you would have to adapt in some way and maybe have to like cover up more. So that could be a challenge for some people.
For sure. Yeah, I think the dress, I think for me is the formality of it. It's kind of like something to do with it as well. Like because in Thailand, we have uniforms when we go to school, uni, right? But when I went to the States or to Spain, we literally, students literally wear like anything, including pajamas to the classes.
100%. Oh my gosh.
I've never felt so me before. So I was like, yeah, it's for me. Yes. Okay. Last but not least, we have this thing.
Etiquette and behavior. Yeah, so this one, I guess, is just the general norms and how people behave what's polite, what's impolite in a culture. And again, for me, this is quite a big part of it as well, because small things from your own country that you think maybe are polite, and then you go to another country and then that's seen as like rude or the opposite. These kind of small things which you don't even think about, and then you do something or say something and people are like, oh, you shouldn't do that. And that's like, oh gosh, like, did I do something that I shouldn't have done? Did I say something I shouldn't? So these small things, yeah, they're definitely a big part of culture shock, I would say.
Exactly. I think I'm most afraid of this part of like, will I do anything like disrespectful to that community? So it's definitely crucial to know that before going to any country. Okay, let's maybe read from you guys. Any elements of culture shock that you feel like it's quite important? Let's share with us. Okay, let me, oops. Okay. Kun Theo said, like in Australia, people celebrate Christmas in summer. Is that included as they do?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. So my friend actually, like my best friend, has moved to Australia actually. And so she celebrates Christmas when it's hot there. And she's like said how like Australian people, because it's their summer, so they think of Christmas as like having a barbecue, going to the beach. And she was like, it's so weird. So yes, it is culture shock. Yes, sure.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know this before. This is like new fact for me. That's wow. Oh, wow. I'm learning from you guys now. That's amazing. Okay, let me see. Oh, okay. This one is interesting. For Thai people.
Yes.
Was it shocking for you when you come to Thailand? When you first came to Thailand?
Oh, was it a shock? I more thought it was funny. I more didn't really understand it. And then I was like, I didn't really understand what it's for. And then I mean, I did understand, but I didn't really see the point of it. And then now I kind of like, I mean, do I use it myself? Or I won't go into details. But for me, I'm kind of used to it now. To be honest, it makes no difference to me. For me, whether we have it or we don't, I'm actually more in the middle, but it makes no difference.
It makes a huge difference for me. Like I can't live with it. I think I realized that, but I'm not gonna go into details. But then it was really uncomfortable for me to go abroad and not having that. But I just learned to get used to not having it and find a replacement. But yes. Yes, like wet wipes or something like that. I'm not gonna go into detail. Seriously. Okay. This one is also interesting. Another element of culture shock is beliefs.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like very close to values, I think.
Values. Right? Exactly. Yeah, what people believe in general, what's accepted in society.
Exactly. All right. Wow. So many things. Oh, you guys, by the way, if you want to read the things that we discussed from today's, I put the link down below. The articles that we are referencing for today's live. Oh, okay. Kun Metamore. When studied in USA, it's easy for people to greet someone you never met before. Yeah. I think we talk to strangers more comfortably. Like it's kind of like when you see people in elevator, it would be like, good morning, have a good day, or something like that.
So you've lived in the US, and do Americans do that then? Is it like in general, do people greet each other a lot more?
Yeah, I think in comparison, like I think Americans are more like, they're more comfortable with strangers. Like if you
Yep.
go, if you walk into elevators and you see like someone there, you'd be like, good morning, good afternoon, how are you? Something like that. Or maybe, when you go to shops and something like that and you get some service, you'll be like talking to them like, have a good day or something like that. I think talking to strangers in America is a little bit more, a little easier than in Thailand, I would say. But it depends. But in general, I think in comparison, maybe it's easier for Americans to talk to strangers. Maybe.
Because in my opinion, Americans are even more open than British people. Because I've been in the lift sometimes with Americans in Thailand, and they've been like, "Hey, how are you doing? Where are you off to?" Or like, "How's your day?" And sure, British people are friendly, but I think Americans are even like one step even more friendly. It's lovely. I love it. I think it's so nice. Instead of like standing in the lift feeling awkward. Oh, this is actually quite interesting. Thai people are the total opposite in the lift. So like, I would say English people just kind of like stand, look around, maybe smile, maybe say hi. Americans are like, hey. And then Thai people often look down in the lift. Like they actually actively look down and make themselves smaller in the lift. And then everyone's very polite in the lift, like extra polite. And I don't know why, but just the lift seems the perfect example of Thai society summed up in a lift.
Yeah, but once you kind of, I think the thing is that I think it's the opposite, because I think in Thailand, if people, once you get to know the person, I think it's easier to get close to them. But for Americans, it's easier to make acquaintance. You know what I mean? It's kind of like ha, something like that. But I don't know. But for Thai people, once you get to know them, you're like collectivists, like, hey, together, we together.
Oh my God, 100%. Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Kana. I do think that Thai people are, like you say, once you kind of click with them, once you have that nice relationship with them, then you're close and that's it.
Yeah, the bond is like strong.
Exactly, the strong bond is there.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, all right. Okay.
Somebody said something. Oh, sorry to interrupt you, Kana.
No,
Somebody
no,
said
you go
something
ahead.
about public transportation, which I thought was a really nice example. Definitely, because this is something which, when you go to a new country, how you travel around is such a big part of your daily life. Like if you're used to always driving, or you're used to cycling, like in Oxford, I always cycle because it's so convenient. But obviously when I came to Bangkok, then I have to drive, I have to find other ways that work, and I have to adapt to that. So I think public transportation is actually a really nice example, because it's such a big part of your daily life that you have to adapt to. So yeah, just wanted to add that one.
Yeah, for sure. I think some of the countries also, even though I think if in Thailand, somehow, if you can afford your own private cars, you're less likely to get a public transportation, right? But I think in many cities around the world, in many, of course, in many Western countries or so, even though you can afford a private cars, there could be like many times that you still use public transportation, right?
Exactly. Like in London, I think I read that only 40% of locals in London own a car. But that's because people are happy though to take, because obviously the subway, we call it the underground, it's such a good network all over London that people are happy to use it, and they don't see it as a big deal. They don't see like, oh, like I have to use a car to show that I have money. It's just accepted in general that basically most people use the underground to get around just because of how convenient it is.
Totally. Absolutely. All right. Okay, now let's maybe okay. Okay, shall we? Because we have quite a lot to cover. Shall we just go to the next part? I was like, I definitely wanted to talk more, but I guess at the very end, then maybe we can talk like super intense conversation.
Sure. Yep. No, perfect. Sorry.
All right.
Me talking
I think. No, I'm talking too much. I'm talking too much. Seriously, I get so hyped when I talk with you. All right. So now I think what's really helped me when I first faced culture shock, since when I was really, really young, because I went abroad. I went to India, right, when I was younger. So that was like a huge culture shock for me, and a lot of adjustment has been going on, you know, at that time. And I felt so young to kind of adjust to everything. So knowing these helped me a lot. So in terms of culture shock, there are stages of it, and there are 4 main stages that usually not just you, but almost everybody kind of go through, but the duration may vary. But of course, like, you have to go through all these things. The first stage is the honeymoon period, the honeymoon stage. You can probably guess from Rosie dance that it's kind of like, oh, sunshines and rainbow and bed of roses. You know, when you just enter the country and you feel like, wow, this is so cool. They have this, they have that. This is like, the views are so good. It's the novelty of it, the new aspects of it makes you feel excited, right? Makes you feel like, wow, this is so exciting. Just like when you travel to another country for a short trip, that's something that you feel excited. You feel like it's the adventures, right? So it's the initial euphoria. And initial คือแปลว่าช่วงเริ่มต้นเนาะ euphoria ก็คือเหมือนความแบบอุ๊ยสุขแบบลอยเลยอ่ะ oh so happy, right? So that's the first stage. But then it can last for about a few days or maybe a week. But then you are probably going to face the second stage, which is the frustration stage. How do I pronounce this? Irritability. How do I pronounce it?
Yes, exactly. Irritability.
On point. And hostility. So after a while, you will start to feel like, oh, but there's so many things that I'm not familiar with. There's so many things that I feel like there are differences, there are problems. That seems to be a huge thing for you because you're not used to it, right? And you might feel frustrated. Everyone feels frustrated when they move to a new country, I'm sure, and we're going to talk about it, right? And this is probably the most difficult part of being abroad, is that you feel like, oh, why are they like this? Why are they not like this? It's better to do this. They're not doing this at all. So that's something that you should look out for, and that's the hardest part, right? But then after the frustration stage, you're going to reach the adjustment stage, or you can call it gradual adjustment, which means it's you know, after you start to adjust a little bit, you spend some more time trying to understand the culture, trying to appreciate the parts of the culture and understand from their point of view. You start to feel more at home in your surroundings, right? You start to know where you belong and why it works that way, right? And then the last stage would be the acceptance stage, or the adaptation. So you now feel kind of like get used to it. It doesn't mean that you are completely like, oh, I lived in the UK for 1 month, I'm now British. It's probably not that. but you start to understand how things work and why it works that way. And you learn the new behaviors and manners, and maybe shade some old ones a little bit, and try to maybe get into it a little bit more. So that would be the acceptance stage. All right, so these are the 4 stages, and I think maybe we can ask the audience now about what their culture shock is. Have you ever experienced culture shock? And that's a grammar mistake right here. Have you ever experienced?
It's fine.
Have you ever experienced culture shock? I correct myself. Okay. So you guys, please send the answers, or maybe share your experience with us. I'm gonna go on to interview Rosie right here. Have you ever experienced culture shock?
Okay, so obviously I'll be talking about Thailand. I mean, I haven't lived in any other countries, so Thailand will be my main subject of discussion here. So obviously I came to Thailand 10 years ago when I studied at university. I came to Chiang Mai. That was the first time I came here. And it's such a hard question. Have I experienced culture shock? Because I would say like yes and no. I wouldn't say that it was anything, like I didn't feel like I was going through these stages exactly, but there are definitely parts of these stages which I can relate to. And actually, when I look at the different stages, I feel like people may go through the different 2 and 3. I feel like you can kind of go back and forth between them because we have the obviously the frustration stage. And then you kind of start to feel like you adjust. And then I feel like there's been times when I've maybe gone back a little bit to the frustration, maybe about something else, like something else that's felt a bit strange. And then I've done the adjustment stage, back and forth between those two until I've reached like the acceptance stage. So for me then, talking about culture shock, like what actually has shocked me in Thailand, I guess for me, like one of the biggest things is, I guess, kind of just the way Thai people like interact with each other. And it's not to do with that this is a shock for me. It's more to do with adapting. And I think that when we talk about a culture shock, I think we can include how we have to adapt ourselves to fit in that culture. So like for me, because I'm quite like a bubbly like person and I like talk a lot and I can be like
energetic.
Yeah. And so I feel like when I first came here, I feel like I kind of had to adapt and adjust to the culture. I felt like some people found my not confidence, but just my outgoing personality. I feel like sometimes they thought it was like too much. So in that sense, I had to kind of like tone down myself. And I guess it's been fine because I've grown up, because obviously I came here 10 years ago and then I've lived here for the last 7 years. So I guess as a person, I've also grown up as well. And so I've kind of toned down and I'm less excitable. Obviously, I'm still like full of energy, but I feel like I have to just be more reep-roy in some ways. Like I understand there are some situations, like a little bit where I feel like, okay, in this situation in Thailand, I can't be too loud. Like if I'm with like an adult or, you know, there are just some situations where I feel like it's just best and easier in Thai culture to just be a little bit quieter and kind of just hold back a little bit. And I don't see this as a negative thing. I see it actually quite nice. I feel like I myself have developed as well in the sense that actually it's been quite nice. At first it was kind of the frustration stage, like, like why do I have to like adapt? Why do I have to change myself? But then actually as I've got older, I've kind of understood, I guess the more you understand a culture, then you can adapt more to it naturally. So nowadays it comes naturally and I don't feel like, okay, I don't actively tell myself like, okay, this situation, Rosie, be calmer. But it just comes naturally. And again, it may be to do with age as well. So it's quite like a complex one for me. But I would say that's the biggest thing that I've noticed in myself to do with Thai culture.
Very interesting. Yeah. I feel like I gotta say this like right away, because I think we all, including myself and also your fans and followers, like we love you for your energy. Seriously, I feel like if Rosie decided maybe today to be, hello everyone, so like I would be like, you are not Rosie. No.
But
so, yeah,
maybe in the past I was like even more. Like maybe it was even, I don't know. Again, maybe it is just age as well. But I just feel like in some situations though, I feel like, okay, just calm down, be composed. I would say it's to do with composure, that Thai people are composed. Whereas English people are less composed, I would say. And it's something actually when I notice when I go back to the UK, I notice that English people are less composed. in themselves.
I'm a very bad example of a Thai person. I'm much less composed. But yes.
I would say that all Thai people are generally, they compose themselves in general. Like, I don't mean like 100% like, oh, hello. I don't mean like that one. I just mean in general. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, could be. There are many situations and occasions that we kind of have to be like เรียบร้อยนะจ๊ะเรียบร้อยเด็กๆเรียบร้อย so I think we kind of maybe we kind of learn to be that. Yeah, totally. Maybe we just read a little bit of the comments a little bit, and then maybe I'll add mine.
Please do.
Okay. Kun Theo again, right? Yes, I have. When I was in Japan, there were differences on how people go up and down stairs in Tokyo and Osaka. Yes, left and right side. While in Thailand, people just don't care that much. I know. Is there any stuff like that in England? The questions for Kurosi? Were there like anything? It's like, do you have to? Yeah. Do you have to walk on the left or on the right?
I feel like there is more order. I don't think there's strict as in Japan, but I feel like there is some kind of order. There is actually on the underground. I think people stand to the side. I know, yes, on the escalators. Normally there's kind of like the unspoken rule that you should stand to the side and leave space for anybody that wants to walk up the escalators. So if you stand to the side, whereas in Thailand, I guess people block the escalators and you're like, have to say, ขอโทษค่ะ
ขอโทษค่ะ
ขอโทษค่ะ ขอโทษค่ะ Like a fish.
Yeah. I'm usually the one in a rush. Always. I'm like, ขอโทษค่ะ ขอโทษค่ะ ขอโทษค่ะ
Me too.
Exactly. All right. Yeah. I think these days now we are trying to kind of like have the directions kind of, but I'm not sure about the escalator and stuff, but I guess we kind of have to the lanes for the walking lanes in the places now. Maybe I don't know if it helps, but yeah, we kind of have that now. Yeah. Anything? Okay. เสียงหน้ากล้องเหรอคะ
Okay.
เสียงหน้ากล้องหรือเปล่าคะเมื่อกี้มีคนบอกว่าเสียงคณะกล้องมากเสียงกล้องมากเปิดสปีกเกอร์ไว้หรือเปล่าทุกคนฟังใครฟังคณะอยู่ถ้าเสียงดังไปบอกหน่อยนะคะนะไม่รู้ว่าเสียงหรือว่าเสียงนะอาจจะดังไปหรือเปล่าไม่รู้ Okay.
No, to be honest, Clara, I think it's absolutely fine. I do think it's okay.
Okay.
I think so.
I'm getting self-conscious a little bit, but
no.
All right. ใครที่ดูนะอยู่ช่วยบอกด้วยนะคะถ้ามันดังไปบอกได้เลยนะคะจะได้ปรับได้นะ I don't want you to feel annoyed listening to me. กล้องเหรอ Okay. One sec. No, I think it's okay. Let me. All right. I didn't know that it's โอแล้วนะโอเคโอเคโอแล้วนะไม่รู้แล้วนะ Anyway, for me, guys, if you have ever experienced culture shock, please send the comments down below so we can talk about it. Maybe I talk too much because I got hype. And yes, I have experienced a lot of culture shock, and I think I kind of shared them with you already, Rosie, but maybe we can go public about it today.
Yes, perfect.
I think something okay, let me share when I was younger. Then I went to India for my high school, right? There are many things I was shocked about, but then I feel like when I'm younger, I'm quite open to the new culture and the differences. So I didn't think of it as there were times I think it takes weeks for me to kind of like adjust to everything. I think the frustration stage lasts for me about like 2 or 3 weeks. But I think some of the things but because it's kind of like the subculture as well. I went to India, but I didn't live like as a people going back and forth and commute in the city because I lived in a boarding school. So when I was in India, I think one of the things that kind of like really struck me was, the roads and the traffic. That's kind of another element, and how people drive. So there's this joke that the Indian gentleman told me and my mom about. They said that you can have like anything in your car. It's okay if any parts of your car is broken. The only thing that needs to work is your, what's that called? Horn.
Right? Yes.
Yeah. So you will always be like, ba, ba, ba. So if you go to India, you will only hear the sound like ba, 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 all day long. Seriously, I like here or maybe in the UK, I'm assuming, yeah. You only hear like that when something is wrong, right? You must be
exactly.
Like, oh, right?
Of course.
In India, there's no like it's nonstop. It's like a background noise, you know. It's always like that.
What's the reason? What are they beeping for? I've always wondered this because I've never been to India, but I've heard this. So what is it? Is it to say that they're coming through? What are they actually telling everybody when they're doing it?
I have no idea exactly why, but I guess the road regulations it could be a little bit vague in many places. There are no exact lanes, or people can just go like that. So there are many places that you kind of, instead of sticking to the regulations and the red lights and all these things, you kind of have to like, boom, I'm coming, you better leave, or something like that. I assume that that's the reason why.
Yep.
But and some of the time you will see the cows walking on the road, on the streets, when every car on the road will have to wait for the cows, because I don't know the exact reasons, but I think because it's Hinduism, right? It's part of the Hinduist belief that cows are valued. They are like the creatures of God. So that's kind of like, you're never gonna see cows walking on the road in Thailand, right? But over there, it's really, you can expect to see the cows walking past by, and you just have to stop and wait for it to. Yeah, you can go.
Gosh.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. And maybe another thing probably is the head motion, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there will be people. If they say yes, they go, okay, very good. Okay. You go to the car, all right, very good, very pretty. So we thought you're very good at it. So I thought that was no, right? Because I feel like when there's a head motion, it means for us it's like no, don't do that. No, it's not true, right? For Indian, this is kind of like, okay, very good, all right, you know. So I thought that was a no. I wasn't sure whether that's a yes or no, but this is yes. No is like this. So that's something that I kind of. What? So no, not good, or something like that. But for yes, okay, very good. Yeah. So that's the different thing, right? Yes, holy cows, that's the word. Yeah. For the States. There are many things in the States, but I think the most important thing, and I didn't feel frustrated, kind of get it right away, but I didn't feel like it's being as commonly practiced. I think giving the tips in the States, it's such a big thing, you know, because when I first landed in the city in Madison, and I was like, I got a taxi to my dormitory from the airport, right? And then I didn't know that I had to give the tips right away, right? I didn't know how it works. So I give, like, I think I give like I didn't get I just hand them the money, and the driver just like didn't give me the changes, right? And I was like, why? Like you need to give me changes, right? And he was like, oh, that's for the tip. So I felt really like, are you trying like to like, is there like a scam, or like, are you cheated? And I just knew that, it's something that it needs to be done. So the driver keep telling me like, you know, here in the States, like you need to give the tips. So like this is the fees, but then the rest is the tips or something like that. And it's practice that in a way that if you don't give the tips, it's kind of like you're really rude.
Okay.
In a way. So I think we kind of have to learn how to like, oh, in this stage, how much tips should we give? And I work at the restaurant as a waitress as well, right? So it was a big deal for me. Now I know whenever I go, wherever I go in the States, you need to kind of like, you know, consider to give a tips. More or less that depends on you and the state, but you need to tip.
Sure.
So I think that's a big part.
Kind of with the driver then, so he took the change and then so he didn't give you back. Did he not give you back the money for then you to then give him back the tip, or how did it work in that situation?
If I remember correctly, like let's say the fees is like the fare is like this much, right? And then I give like this much of money, for example, and I expect to get like, let's say I expect to get like $10 back, $10 back, but then I only get like, I don't know, like 5 back. So then I was really like, what's going on? Why are you not giving me like the money back, right? I'm supposed to like the fare say this, so I'm supposed to get this much of money, and he looks like a little bit irritated. So I was really like, he was like, you know what? If you come to the States, you need to like give, like you need to tip the people and the service that you get. So it's kind of like we do that around here. So I was really like,
you're like, okay, sorry.
Oh, sorry. And I was really like, I was already worried, right? I was already like, oh, am I going to do this? Is it true that it needs to be? Because there's no like rule saying that you need to tip how much, right? So that's the hardest part for me, for thinking about how much you should tip.
Yeah, do you know, tipping is actually an interesting part of like culture, in the sense that like, I think in all countries it's so different, because in England, for example, you should tip, but it's only like, I think it's less than in America. I think it's about 10%. And it's, I think in America, is it like 15% or 20%?
The thing is, it's different from one state to another.
Oh my gosh, you're like, okay, New York, 20%.
I don't know. I think the highest, usually it's around 10 to 15%. And I think it's kind of like you kind of have to check before you go to that state, like what's common.
Oh, okay,
tip.
fine.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah. So, but usually it's about like 10 to 15%. But let's say that if you go to a restaurant and you get a really, really great service, then you might want to tip more. Then that's up to you, right? But the standard should be like 10%, I think.
Okay. But like in Japan, I think that in Japan, they don't tip at all, for example. I think that I've tried tipping and they basically don't really accept it. It's just like not part of their culture at all. Or I read, I can't remember whether I experienced it or someone told me, but they basically, in Japan, they don't really accept tips. So if anybody knows about tipping in Japan, then comment down below. But I think I've heard that you kind of shouldn't tip. For whatever reason, it's almost like you shouldn't tip. And I don't know the exact reason, but apparently Japanese people don't tip at all. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, so please comment down below and tell me.
I really want to know too. I really want to know too. Yeah, exactly. Oh, now we have a lot of experience to discuss about. Now we have... okay. Pinon actually. Pinon talked about first time in Australia. I don't get it when Aussies say mate. Good day, mate. Okay, you don't know what it means, right? But you say that in England as well, right? Is it?
Not really. I mean, we use the word mate, but we wouldn't say it like an Aussie person would say like good day, mate. They say it like good day, mate, with their strong Australian accent. So we wouldn't say
which
that.
I can't imitate.
Yes.
Yeah. Good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
Good day. Yeah. I really love their a sound, like today.
Today.
Yeah. It's really cool.
It's nice. Oh my God, I love it. Today.
Today.
Good day, mate.
Today. Wow. In Taiwan, most people don't like to take a shower in the morning. Besides, they also love having vegetarian food. These are the culture shock for me. What do you think about this?
So really, really interesting actually, because I thought that in all Asian countries, because obviously in Thailand, you love showering. And this was actually another, not a culture shock for me, but I would say that Thai people are very, very clean, and which is great. It's wonderful. But it's kind of like in Thailand, you have to take 2 showers a day. And I do myself. But it's like if I were to tell a Thai person that I hadn't showered in the morning, it would almost be like the most horrifying thing ever. Whereas an English person couldn't care. They'd be like, oh, I haven't showered for like 2 days. Don't worry about it. But in Thailand, if I were to tell somebody, oh, I didn't shower this, just to let you know I didn't shower, they'd be like, no, like there is no way. Like it would be like made a joke out of, and like, but it would still almost be like a bit shocking. Whereas in England, we couldn't care. So it's an interesting point about in Taiwan, because in England, we only take 1 shower a day or 1 shower every 2 days.
Yes. For sure. I think also for in the States, and maybe it's the climate has to do a lot to do with this, because in Thailand it's always hot, right? So it's kind of like
definitely
we always take a shower. But in India as well, in Spain, in the States, people don't take showers. It depends on the season, of course, but people don't usually take showers like 2 times a day. 2 times a day is kind of like you're super hygienic, like super clean.
Exactly. That's what's interesting, because it's like all Thai people, all Thai society is super clean, which is obviously so nice, and it's now become part of my daily routine. But it's just different. And also interesting about this comment about the vegetarian food in England. It's also a big part of our culture nowadays. Vegetarian food and vegan food. There's like been this like whole wave that's come to the UK, and so many people have turned vegetarian or vegan. And like I said, it's so easy to find alternatives, different meat alternatives. So really interesting, those comments actually. So Taiwan sounds more like England.
All right. Now we have another one. Okay, let's talk about this one.
Yes.
Shoes, wearing shoes in the house. What do you think? What's it like in England?
So in England, it definitely depends on the house itself. So in my house, my mum always asked us to take our shoes off. Actually, we had a carpet in the house. So I think it depends what flooring you have. If you have a wooden floor, then it's maybe more acceptable. If you have a carpet, then you probably need to take off your shoes. So I think it very much depends on the house. But I would say in general, if you wear your shoes in the house, it's not seen as shocking. In the UK, it wouldn't be like, oh my gosh. Whereas in Thailand, it probably would be like, oh my gosh, you have broken the rule in Thailand where you should not wear shoes inside.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's kind of like the most notable thing when in the Western culture and in the Eastern culture. Yeah, for sure. Now, we have a lot of comments here going on. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Another point about wearing shoes in the house. Okay.คุณคณิษฐานะคะ my Indian friend told me that her dad do this all the time, and he has to do because it's insult for making the noise. Oh, you mean the horn?
Oh yeah, it must be is it the horns? My Indian friend told me her dad do this all the time, and he has to do it because it installed for making the noise. So maybe they just see that's the reason for it. They think, well, it's there, So I'm going to use it. Why not?
Yeah. Why do you keep it if you're not going to use it? Just like,
Exactly.
the light signal. I'm going to turn left and right. If I'm going to go, I'm going to be like, pop, pop, pop. Yes. Okay. All right. All right.
Are there any others? Have you seen shoes?
Yes. Kun Meng said tip depends on service. There's no rules. Yes. And I think that's kind of like that's what kind of hard for the culture, right? I think that the driver is not exactly super. Somebody said like it. I think that this situations is very impolite. They have to give the change back. Yeah. I feel like the thing is, I think the driver might not be the best representative of the kind of like safeguard the culture. I don't think so. But I guess I was also being very ignorant about this culture of tipping, right? I thought that I had to give back, and I of course I didn't know how much I should give as well. But there's no rule saying like if you did not tip me, you did not get off the car. But it's kind of like the the norms and the culture that people do. But yeah, the driver is not being super nice. Of course, he just took it and is like, "Oh, that's for the tip."
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of case. But if I were to understand and prepare for it a little bit more, I would have said like, "Oh, this is the tip for you," blah blah blah. But of course, I was like, I just landed. So I didn't have enough, like, I would be like, oh, take it.
Yeah. But I do think, though, personally for tipping, going back to the other comment about how it depends on the service, I do agree with this comment personally, that I don't think tipping should be assumed in any situation. I feel like, okay, fine. Like, I think in England, we have a nice balance that we have like a general rule. If you have good service, then you give 10%. But if you have a bad service, then you wouldn't, and then you didn't tip, or you left like a lesser tip, then people would understand. But I do get the feeling that in America, it sounds stricter, that like, if you don't tip, I've heard stories about like waitresses, like shouting at the customers, or like, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard different stories about in America that they're so strict on it. And for me, I don't like that so much, because I feel like you should have the freedom to decide like, okay, that was a good service, I want to tip, instead of that you have to tip. That's just my opinion.
For sure. Yes, I think absolutely 100%. And I think another thing that could be in a good way, it's not really a culture shock, I kind of like it, is that, but some people don't like it, is, when you go to a restaurant, but it depends on the place as well. But when you go to a certain restaurant, right, and the waitress and the waiters are usually really, really, really like nice, like, because they basically get the tips for like the money that they get is not, in comparison to the tips that they get, are much lower, right? So I worked as a waitress in a Thai restaurant myself. So I like actually the service that they kind of give. Like, they will be checking in on you, saying like, okay, like, how do you like the food? Or do you need some more water? And like, oh, do you like this so far? Thank you so much for stopping by. All these like super, super nice. But it depends on the restaurant as well. But I kind of like that.
Sure, definitely. Yeah.
All right. I think, there's so many things to talk about. And okay. All right. Thank you for sharing with us, you guys. Now, maybe we can go a little bit over the part where we provide a little bit more solution for those of you who maybe are dealing with culture shock, or planning to maybe go to some other countries and have to deal with culture shock. Do you have tips to share, Rosie?
Sure, definitely. Let's begin with, which one should we begin with? Let's begin with stay grounded.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess when we talk about staying grounded, it's like when you're feeling, basically you have to remind yourself that it's normal and that most people experience it. So it's just about like telling yourself that it's okay. Other people are probably in the same situation, and to not kind of get too stressed or like frustrated with some situations. Because I think going back to the different phases, I think it was the second phase when was it the second or third? Second phase when you're feeling frustrated. I think often you can kind of blow things up, like a small thing can feel like a big thing. I think that's what they talk about. So I think when you try to stay grounded, it's about reminding yourself like, it's okay, it's fine, don't make it into a big deal instead of like getting so stressed and worked up about like one small thing. So yes, that's the first one. Stay grounded.
Exactly. I feel like sometimes I think to the point that we get kind of depressed. I thought that it was just me, right? Like sometimes it doesn't go according to plans. Like when we imagine like living in a country that we always have wanted to go, it's kind of like all nice, sunshines and rainbow. But when you're actually there, there are many things to adjust, many unexpected things. But I think there could be some sort of like how to say, there's a little bit of that homesick period.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And a lot of my friends actually who went abroad usually go through all of these. They'll be texting us like, oh, I think I'm getting homesick or something like that. So there'll always be that part, and it happens to everyone, but just know that you're going to get over it. Okay.
Definitely.
All right. The next thing is this one.
Cook home comforts. So like we said, cuisine and food is a part of culture shock. So even though we may love the food in that country, just like I love the food in Thailand, but I still have like my home comforts. I still like sometimes make bread, I find cheese, and I still eat English food. And for me, it makes me so happy. Like I obviously still eat Thai food, but it's just something, it's so nice to have some like British food, and it feels like, oh, I'm back in the UK. And it makes us feel nice. So I feel like if you're going to a new country, it's good to find like a supermarket where you can find some good food that, you can maybe make some food at home and then feel like you're back in your own country.
Exactly. I basically cannot live without rice.
Sure.
No, I definitely cannot. Like I remember when I was in Spain, I had to buy like a big bag of like rice, jasmine rice, and cooked with like, because they don't have the rice cooker at the home, so we have to boil it to like cook it in the pot. So that's
exactly
my rice. All right, the next thing is get active.
Exactly. So getting active is about staying active, doing exercise. And as many of us know, that if we're doing exercise, then it's the way that we can feel good about ourselves, instead of maybe if we're going through kind of like a frustration period or we're feeling a little bit down, then if we're staying active, then it's helping to lift our mood and to stay positive. And maybe we can join a gym or join a club where you're meeting other people, whether it's people from your home country or people from that country, but basically staying active and getting involved with other people. Yes, instead of staying at home.
Exactly, because you will get more depressed if you just...
Definitely, of course. Exactly.
Yeah. One thing that really helped me get through the frustration period is actually working and volunteering. Like I worked at the restaurant, and I felt like because I need to earn a living when I was in the States, because everything is so expensive, right? But then I felt also a part of like, I belong to a community or a group of people there. Like I learned the culture and be a part of the community. So that makes me feel so much better after some.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a really good point, Kenna.
All right. The next thing is stay connected.
Oh, okay. So stay connected. Obviously, nowadays, this one is so easily done with the internet, with our phones. with Skype, with WhatsApp, with Line. So, I mean, nowadays it's so easy that we don't have to sit at home and write a letter. We can just FaceTime somebody, give somebody a call, and keep in regular contact with people. And yeah, this is something which I do myself. And I really make an effort in Thailand. Even though I've been here for 7 years, I still actively contact my friends back home. And it doesn't feel like I'm any less close to them, which is kind of hard to believe. Like I've been here, yes, 7.5 years, and we still have like a group chat. I still send them photos. I still FaceTime them. And it's so important.
It must be 100%. Do you usually, let's say that if there's no pandemic, usually you go back to England every year?
Yeah, so I normally try and go back like every 9 months to 12 months. So yeah, pretty much kind of every year. So I feel like this time, to be honest, I've reached the point where it's getting a little bit more difficult. So the last time I was back was 2 years ago, like exactly 2 years ago. And yeah, it's reached the point where I just feel like I need to go back. But so I'm trying, to be honest, recently I've been trying to look into going back sometime this year, even if I've got to do quarantine or whatever. I just feel like it's gone on for too long. So yeah, I would love to go back sometime.
Yeah. Exactly. Stay connected. I know it's difficult with the pandemic going on, right? Okay. The next thing is, I think this would be most applicable, especially at the start of your adjustment period. Challenge yourself.
So challenge. Yes. So obviously with this one, it's setting maybe small challenges for ourselves. It doesn't have to be anything big. It just may be something like very small that if you're learning a language, for example, that you're going to another country and you make an effort, like, okay, I'm going to make an effort to say, hi, how is your day going? I mean, just that in itself could be a small challenge, that you're starting a conversation with somebody, or you're going for a run, you're joining the gym, anything where you're trying to interact with other people. Or maybe you go into a shop and you make an effort to say like, oh, I don't know what you may ask in a shop, or like you may say, hi, how's your day going? Or anything to kind of push you beyond your boundaries, basically.
For sure.
You're interacting with the local people.
Trying to immerse yourself more with the culture.
Exactly. So important.
All right. Last but not least, we have find a guide. But what does it mean by a guide?
Yeah, exactly. It's a good question. I mean, so I guess it doesn't need to be actually a guide. It could just maybe be somebody. It could just be that you find somebody who you're close to, you feel comfortable with, and that one person maybe could help you be immersed in the culture. Sometimes when you move to a new country or even a new city, actually just having one person can help so much. Having one person to show you around, maybe explain some of the culture, explain some things, all of these things can make such a big difference than having nobody. So I think it's talking about like kind of like a middleman there, like an agent, not an agent, but you know what I mean? Somebody there to kind of explain how things work in that country.
For sure. Yes. Like I don't think I could survive, not survive, like I don't think I would be able to adjust and adapt to the culture and the environment as quickly as I did if I don't have a friend that I knew when I was in Wisconsin and when I was in the States. It was extremely difficult if you don't have anyone that you kind of already know. But if you สำหรับใครที่จะไปเรียนต่อหรือว่าจะไปต่างประเทศหรือว่าอะไรก็แล้วแต่นั่นนะคะ This is for you. If you are going to study abroad, you go to university or something like that. Another way that could be quite interesting, just like Rosie already mentioned, is that if you don't know anyone at all, I think it would be nice to prior to your trip, maybe connect with them in advance of the people, maybe the Thai community that lives there. For me, in the States, there's a Thai student association, and this thanks to my friend, he actually recommended me that I should contact them before going there. So actually having those like, seniors, the people who lived there before you, they help a lot. They help with like, okay, this is where you buy this in, and you don't have this utensils, you don't have a fan, you don't have like a kettle. Oh, I can lend you that. I can lend you a jacket. I can do this. And I think that's really extremely crucial, especially if you're, settling down. You need that person a lot. And preferably, I think more than one person would be amazing as well if you can like, find one person to help you all do that. And usually if that person is maybe from Thailand, or maybe that person kind of already know you, I think they would be more than happy to help you. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I couldn't have done it without people in Bangkok. I was
For
so
sure.
lucky.
You already knew somebody when you came here?
Yeah, there was like a couple of people that had studied at Leeds University, had also studied Thai language, and I moved into the same building as them. And it was just like great because I didn't know where to live. Bangkok's such a big place. And they were like, I'll move into this condo. It was in Phra Khanong, which was like great area at the time. Yeah, when I was there, and they like showed me around and everything. So, oh my God, I couldn't have done it without those two people. Yeah, two of my friends.
That's amazing. For me, when I was in the States, like my friend who actually was an exchange student, and she came to Thailand, right? And she kind of know like all the struggles that one has to be through, and I kind of help her with all this and that. Not so much, not as much as she did for me when I was in the States, but without her, I would be like, I wouldn't know what to do, this and that. For example, like just getting my phone, like getting like a SIM card, totally, it's just life-changing.
Oh my God, I totally agree.
Exactly. All right, maybe we read the comments a little bit. Building. Okay. Let me say.
The time has gone so quickly today, Kana.
I know. It's 1 hour, 60 minutes already.
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh.
All right. Maybe we just ask a question for them to maybe, what have you learned from today's live? Yeah. What have you learned from today's live? A little bit. So I guess maybe most of you, I think the best way to kind of like remember all the things that you just learned is actually to reflect, summarize, and reflect, right? Convincing.
Yes. Definitely. This is a question which I always ask my students at the end of class. Whenever I have class, I make everybody tell me one thing. I say, okay, everybody shut your books and tell me one thing that you've learned today. Because it's good. It's nice to review and say out loud what you've exactly learned. So yes, if you have learned anything new, whether it's new vocabulary, whether it's that anything that is new to you, then please comment. And we would love to see.
I have learned just so many things. I didn't even know, like, they celebrate Christmas in summer in Australia. That was so new to me. There were so many things I learned today. So comment down below.
Yes, exactly. Comment down below.
You were going to say something, Rosie?
Yes, I was going to add about to do with having Christmas in summer, just to add about that. So it is in December, but it's obviously Christmas, but it's obviously summer at that time. If that makes sense. Yeah. Just to add that.
right. I mean, like it's summer in December in Australia.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why.
Crazy. Right? Yeah, crazy.
I couldn't imagine but it's kind of the same. If you think about it in Thailand, because we are always in summer.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I think a lot of my friends who lived abroad and then just came to Thailand, they were like, this is your cold season. This is your winter.
Yeah, exactly.
No, this is our summer. It's not even cold.
It literally is like that.
All right. Oh, wow. All right. Maybe I think you have a course coming up. So maybe I would just maybe you want to talk a little bit about it. I think you just I think a lot of people actually commented today's live. How can you learn with Kru Rosie? Like, what should I do if I want to learn with Kru Rosie? So maybe you want to talk about a little bit about it.
Sure. Okay, so I actually have a new course that is actually officially coming out tomorrow. But today, because I have this live, I decided it kind of makes sense to do like a pre-sale. So this course is basically focusing on speaking. It's a 13-hour course, and I've divided it into 8 different sections. So basically this course is basically what I've found is that Thai people maybe they want to talk about different topics, but they don't really know like the vocabulary. They maybe don't have the phrases. They don't have the questions to be able to create this conversation. So that's why I decided to create this course. So like I said, it's divided into 8 sections. I chose 8 sections, which I thought were kind of like popular 8. There we go. Yeah, popular sections that as people that we often discuss. So I've divided it into, hope that I can remember the sections. We have food, we have traveling, we have clothes and shopping, we have movies, we have food, we have sport and fitness, we have friendship, and we have romance and dating. So it's like these kind of topics that maybe you want to be able to just like chat with to a foreigner, but you kind of don't have the vocabulary, you don't have the questions that you should be asking. So that's why I've created this course, which is basically full of vocabulary, full of example sentences. And then I've also included a little bit of grammar. I am not like a grammar freak, so I haven't gone into it super deep. But I've given you like an overview and like a refresh. Just so as you know how to form these different questions, just so you know how to answer these questions. So I've included grammar. I've also included listening activities. So in every chapter, I do a listening activity where you have to fill in the gaps and check your listening. Then we go through it. So there's basically so much in there. I'm so excited about this course because it's basically what I've created is what students have told me that they really, really need. And so that's why, I've done these 8 topics because they're the main topics that often we talk about when we're talking to foreigners. We chat about food, we chat about shopping and clothes, sports. So it's not like very basic vocabulary. I've tried to like make it maybe like idioms or phrasal verbs or vocab that maybe you just wouldn't come up with naturally. And I've showed you how to use them correctly in a sentence. Again, this is something that so many students have problems with, that they know this word, but they don't know how to use it in a sentence. So yeah, that's it. So it actually officially comes out tomorrow. So, but if you're interested, then obviously come and message me, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I've put down in the link, I think the details of the course should be down. I think from my page. I think it will be from my page. I think so. Maybe not from your page.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Go.
Oh, it has come up. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, amazing.
Right? This one, right?
Yes, exactly. Amazing. Yeah. So basically that's it. If you are interested, then yes, please message me and I will give you more details. But in general, I would say it's for people who have definitely some background of English. It's not beginner's English. It's definitely people who have a basis, but they want to improve themselves. So basically anybody from kind of like pre-intermediate up until pretty much advanced, because there's so much in there that would be useful for anybody who's, even if you have like a good knowledge of English already, there's already so much in there which I feel like would be useful. Anyway, my spiel is over. But yes, if you're interested, please contact me. And yeah, that's my new little picture. And also, one more thing to add. basically right now, the offer begins for 5 days. So it basically starts on the 28th, even though it's actually 27th, because it's the 27th today, until the 1st of June. So it's 3,590 baht. So I say, if you're interested, then don't forget to contact me. Don't hesitate to contact me in the next 5 days. Dun, dun, dun. End dance for my course. Yes, I'm super excited about this course, actually. So very, very excited to talk about it.
Amazing. I'm gonna enroll for the romance and dating.
Yes, exactly. This part you need to get involved.
It's so interesting. It sounds really interesting. All right. I'm just having like a little bit of announcement to make for those who have been asking all day long. Our inbox is quite like it's like burning up, like exploding now.
Gosh.
ทุกคนคะสำหรับของคณะนะคอร์ส21 day English transformation รุ่น 3 ตอนนี้เต็มแล้วนะคะตอนนี้เรารับได้มากที่สุด I'm so sorry คือขออนุญาตจริงๆหลายคนเข้าใจว่าปิดสิ้นเดือนเนาะแต่ว่าพอดีเนื่องจากตอนนี้คนสมัครเข้ามาค่อนข้างเยอะให้ความสนใจมาค่อนข้างเยอะเพราะว่าเราเปิดแค่ปีละครั้งเนาะก็เลยตอนนี้ต้องขออภัยนะคะเต็มแล้วจริงๆเนาะbut we have other options เนาะของน้าจะมีเป็น beginners นะคะสำหรับใครที่ต้องการปูพื้นฐานตั้งแต่เริ่มต้นเลยเนาะในเรื่องของการพูดฟังนะคะแล้วก็เรื่องของวิธีการฝึกค่อนข้างมากเนาะแล้วก็สำหรับใครที่ต้องการใช้ภาษาอังกฤษสำหรับการทำงานให้เป็น professional มากยิ่งขึ้นแล้วก็มี English for career development English for public speaking and presentation นะคะก็สำหรับใครที่สนใจก็เหมือนกันสามารถทักเข้ามาพูดคุยกันได้นะคะ alright yeah let's read some of the comments I think a lot of people actually commented how much can you guys understand us today วันนี้เข้าใจกี่เปอร์เซ็นต์ครับพิมพ์เข้ามาให้หน่อยได้ไหม how much can you understand us
Yeah, it's a good question.
100% I don't know right because we didn't ask that in the beginning. All right. Madison, Wisconsin is yes. It's like super cold. I felt like a polar bear. Yes. Okay. Kun PM said today I've learned that when Indian people nod their head, it's like yeah. This means yes. This means no. This means no. Okay. All right. คุณรัตนาใช่ไหมคะ Thank you. This is good for me to learn English listening and getting some experience. Interesting. Some people said เข้าใจ 100% เลยจ้า
โอเคเก่งมากเลย
สุดยอด
So good.
95% ค่ะ Wow, that's amazing. 80% amazing. All right. 99%.
Ooh, I'm so good.
Okay. 99.99. Oh. All right.
Wow.
That's great. 50%.
That's good.
That's amazing. Yeah.
50% is still great.
90%, 60%. All right. We should one last questions for you guys today is we really want to know this because we are doing hopefully we're doing a series, live series. So what topics should we do next? What topics should we do next? Okay. How's today? How are you feeling, Rosie? Today?
Great.
For today's live?
Oh my gosh, 100%. Like I'm feeling excellent. I'm just shocked at the time. Claire, it's like when I talk to you, I feel like the time just goes. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, where did it go? The time happens every time.
Time flies.
It does. Time flies when you're having fun.
I know. And it's not just like, I thought that when we were like, okay, chatting, that's kind of, it's always like that, right? But we are doing live. This is already 1 hour and a half.
I know. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, we can talk for 3 hours. You guys,
we actually could.
Yeah, but you guys are probably not here to listen anymore. Okay. All right. What topics should we talk about next? Because we are planning to do a live series
Exactly.
บอกความลับไปแล้ว yeah. What topics should we do next? Anything that you are interested in or you want to learn more in particular? I think a lot of things. I think there are a lot of comments asking Crew Rosie experience and some of the things in England. So I think that should be interesting as well.
Sure.
Let me see.
Somebody's
any comments? Yeah.
Dating, and I don't know whether that's talking about a possible topic. Possibly. Possible. Yeah, I wonder what we could talk about. That.
You have a lot to talk about. I have zero experience. I'm like, nah. Okay, but I can be the interviewer. So Rosie, what is your view about romance? Okay, Kun Nantida said today's topic is very interesting.
Thank you.
Interesting. Whoops. Read message. Yes, we read your message. Yes.
Yes.
All right. คุณชนัยการใช่ไหมคะชนัยการใช่ไหมคะ Thank you for sharing your experiences. I love it. Thank you for watching. This one is also interesting. Women
dictionary for men.
Do you have any ideas about this?
Women dictionary for men. Oh, basically about like how women think. Is it the idea that like if a woman says yes, she means no. If she means no, she means yes. I think that's the idea. I think
when
so.
When she say it's okay, it's mean it's not. I'm not okay.
Yeah, exactly. Fine. If they say fine, then she's not fine.
She's not fine. Yes. I need that too. I need that too. Yeah. คุณแพรใช่ไหมคะ Your life. Wow. Interesting. I think Rosie's life would be interesting. Mine is super boring.
Oh no, you said earlier that you went to Spain. I didn't know that. You could share about you've lived in different countries, you've traveled.
Yeah.
It's an interesting.
Next time for
yes.
For sure. This one could also be interesting, although I don't know if I'm a good representative of American pronunciation. American versus British pronunciation.
I mean, your accent is definitely more American than British. So yes, possibly, yes.
Yeah, maybe we can do something about that. The thing is though, there are some things that I might pronounce like an American, but there will still be something that pronounced like a British. So I don't even know where I stand. I think this one could be interesting for Rosie. Hunting jobs in England.
Oh, yes, quite possibly. Yes. Possible topic.
For sure. Oops. ครูโรซี่น่ารักมากครับ That's a topic. Yeah. Education system.
Oh, that was an interesting one.
Yeah. The differences in the UK, in Thailand.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, that one's quite interesting.
Yeah, we can note that down. Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. I think this could be interesting as well. Live during COVID-19.
Say again, Kana.
Live during COVID-19.
Oh my gosh, I know. Oh my gosh, I know.
Live in pandemic. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I know the questions now. There's a question from Kun Max. What's Rosie British comfort food you have while you miss your home?
Oh, it's a good question. Bread. Honestly, just bread and cheese, pizza. Even though pizza isn't obviously from England originally, English people still eat a lot of pizza. So yeah, I would say basically bread, cheese, pizza. That's it pretty much. Spaghetti.
I've been meaning to ask this. Do you cook usually?
Oh, it's a good question. So if I eat Thai food, then I don't cook. I can't cook Thai food at all. But if it's like English food, then yes, I do cook. like very simple things and like salads and things. I don't really know whether I count it as cooking. I feel like it's more like putting stuff together.
Yeah, I think when I went to Spain, I also cooked like kai diao and pad pak for the host family. And they were like, that's the most like amazing dishes they ever had. They were like, wow, so this is like the signature Thai dish? I was like, no, those are the only two things I know how to make. So they were like, wow, that's so good. Kai diao.
Yeah, but Thai omelets are so different from like British or like Western omelets.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I think that, do we cover everything? Did I miss anything at all?
Yes,
probably not.
I think that is pretty much everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
That we got everything. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, thank you so much, you guys, for watching our lives today. It's been 1 hour and 35 minutes. So thank you so much. Let us know if you like this live, this kind of long talk like this or not. Let us know in the comment. Leave a like if you like this. Any message you want to say to the audience?
I'm just so happy to be back again. Like I said, I just feel like I haven't done live for so long. And again, it's just so impressive to see like how many people like to get involved. And even if you can't understand that much, even if you can only understand 5% or 10% or 2%, it really doesn't matter. I think it's so nice that there are so many people watching and wanting to improve themselves. And I just think that's so great. And that's such a good start when you're learning a language. It's the determination, and that's how you will get better, is because you try. So yeah, so impressed to see so many people actively trying to get involved. It makes it so nice. And it's been so much fun with you, Kanat. So I have to say thank you so much.
Always. Such a pleasure. Like, I've been begging you to do this. So of course, it's been always so nice. And I really enjoy, like you said, time really flies, and very well put, of course. And I think one of the most important things for you guys out here, and we both as an English teacher would love to provide for you, is a safe space and environment where you can use English without the fear of making mistakes. So we want this to be a space where you can use English more, feel comfortable typing in English, listening to English, and just like Rosie said, that even though you might not understand everything, I think just stay with it, trying to immerse yourself with these sounds. That would be the most important thing. It's all about progress. Okay.
It is, exactly. Small steps.
All right. Baby steps. Yes. All right. Oh, so many people say, can't wait for the next live. Love it. Love this very much. Okay. Thank you so much. So yeah, guys, have a good night. Thank you. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
have
so
a good
much,
night.
Hannah. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.